Good morning, class, and welcome to your virtual course. My name is Dr. Araipur, and you can call me Dr. A if it's easier for you. I sent several emails already to the entire class regarding the course in order for you to explore it. So we are going to go over that right here. Let me just bring this up here. All right. So here's the home page of Canvas. So you log into Canvas. And what I've done, on the home page, you see several numbers. You just follow the numbers. Number one, right here, there is a welcome message. It's a couple of minutes long, welcoming you to the course. I'm happy to have you here. Hopefully, you have gone through that. The second one, number two, class philosophy. Let's just quickly look at it.
Class philosophy. This class is a community and therefore, we all have the same objective, to learn. Online students often feel isolated, but it is vitally important to know you are not in this alone. I would like each of you to approach our online class with a great attitude and a willingness to help one another. Many problems and questions can be resolved by asking a fellow student. I am always here to help you, but I truly believe your experience will be more fruitful if you communicate with your fellow students as well. Let us work together to make this a memorable semester for each and every one of us. Course objectives. The primary objectives of our Survey of Calculus 1 course include the foundational principles of calculus, an integral branch of mathematics that delves into comprehending rates of change and accumulation. The principal aim of this course is to familiarize students with the fundamental concepts and techniques of calculus, which form the bedrock for grasping alterations and deviations in diverse fields. The course will be structured around several key focal points, encompassing the exploration of fundamental concepts of analytic geometry, the study of limits and continuity, and the exploration of differentiation and integration pertaining to algebraic and trigonometric functions. Additionally, the course will engage with real-life applications from the realm of life sciences, showcasing various interpretations of derivatives and integrals. These applications will span topics such as maximum-minimum problems and optimization, linearization and difference equations, sequences, sequential limits, as well as antiderivatives and integrations. Instructors' contact information. Email me via Canvas or use the email address era.araeipor@csulb.edu, and I reply from Monday to Friday within 24 hours.
Okay, we're going to go back to the home page of Canvas. Number three, the announcements. Let me put this in student mode. So there are several announcements that have been sent to you already, welcoming you to the course, some old recorded orientation, so on and so forth. And there will be more emails sent to you. Uh, Generally speaking, most of my emails are sent in the form of announcement. In case for some reason you miss that, you can check the announcements. Now, right here, before we get to number four, under number three, you see over here it says Zoom meeting. Pay attention to this because there have been some mistakes already. On the left navigation bar, we have the Zoom meeting, and that's where you join. Do not mix it up with this bottom Zoom meeting, which is the office hours. So again, the bottom of the homepage, office hours. Monday through Friday, 7 to 8 a.m. And here's the Zoom meeting. Left navigation bar gives you the Zoom meeting for the class. Okay. All right. Then under number four, we have the syllabus modules that they have the practice test PowerPoints, solution to the practice test, homework, quiz assignments, discussion forum, exams, and so forth. So under number 4, we have everything that we need to cover. First thing I want to look at, whether you look at the discussion forum here, if you click on it here, or the left navigation bar, makes no difference. What do we find there? First, there's student bios, and that's, you see mine as an example. If you'd like to add yours, you don't have to, that's your choice. And if you want to answer to a fellow student, just with respect and encouraging words. After that, the second discussion forum, frequently asked questions. In the past, students have asked questions and I've answered them here. For example, how to use the math editor, or do I need a course ID for the digital platform here that we use, my Open Math? The answer is no. I will show you it's under the modules. So several questions are answered here. Another one at the very end, because for some reason it happens every semester. Where do I find the exam password? Every exam is password protected, and it'll be emailed to you. But if you miss that, you can find it under the announcements, okay? With the same topic. For example, exam 1, exam 2, and so forth. Going back to the home page of Canvas. So let's look at the syllabus here. Again, you can click on it here or on the left navigation bar, makes no difference. When we check the syllabus tab, first you have the syllabus and the second one is the calendar. So let me quickly show you the calendar. So as you can see, every few weeks we have an exam here. And I've set up all the exams to be due on Saturdays because I want you to be relaxed, do a good job, and do well. So these are the dates of the exams. As far as the final is concerned, every course has its own final at a specific time. We'll discuss that further as we get to closer and closer to the final, obviously. The top one is the syllabus. As far as the syllabus is concerned, nowadays they are becoming huge, and that's why I put different topics here for you. Okay, if you want to go to a topic of interest, for example, the grading policy, but I'm going to spend a minute or two to cover the entire syllabus just to be on the safe side. So first, again, I'm welcoming you to the course. Then it's the information about the course, the section number, the time, and so on. The Zoom meeting, as I mentioned, the information can be found under the Canvas on the left column. Also, you find it here. Various topics are outlined here. Material, course description, course goals. It's a GE course, student learning outcome. Text. I'll show you where to find the text. You can find it right here, or when we go to my Open Math, I will show you. The bottom line is it's free, and you don't have to purchase anything, as well as the digital platform where you do the homework. Homework assignments, quizzes, and exams are done in My Open Math, for short, MOM. Class calendar, you can find it also here briefly. I showed you the Excel calendar. So what happens here, every 3 to 4 weeks, you have an exam, okay? Just to give you an idea. The schedule of final exams for all your classes, I've put the website here, and for us, specifically, the time is given here. You want to be very careful with that, not to miss that. There's no proctorio as far as the exam is concerned. I believe everybody's here to learn, okay? And I expect a pledge from everyone when you take the exam to take the exam on your own. Meetings, of course, online. Calculators. You don't need a calculator. You may use calculator for certain exams, and I believe everything should be free. So I am showing you where you can find free online calculators. If you have a calculator, more power to you. If you don't need to purchase anything. You can find it right here. Tech support from the publisher MyOpenMath, from Canvas and Campus. Longest. Tutorial Center is available here. Again, I would go to the website for more information. Grading policy is very straightforward. It's a point system and a total of 1,000 points. We have 4 exams. Each one is 100. We get 400 points. Homework is 200 points, combination of 170, 10, and 20. So we have the homework, we have introduction to MyOpenMath. I'll show you an algebraic, 200 points. Quiz assignments, 100 points. Final comprehensive, 300 points. And they add up to 1,000 points. So it's important to understand that we have 1,000 points. It's a point system. And your lowest grade before the final may be replaced by the final exam, as long as the following is true. Number one, the grade is high. It has to be at least 80% or higher. I'm talking about the final exam. And then your grades for the homework assignments and quiz assignments must be 95% or higher. More importantly, this action will result in a higher letter grade. That is extremely important, everybody. All right. So having said that, here's again the grading curve. Okay. The synopsis of that. 90% or higher is an A. That means 900 points or more. 80% or higher is a B. That means 800%, 800 points or more. And so this is an A. This is a B, and so on. All right. Let's see. Class conduct, course late work policy is a 10% penalty. If you miss something, you have a window of 72 hours for the late work. CSULB study 36. That is very interesting, everybody. So in short, when you have 12 units, you have to spend about 36 hours per week to do well. In other words, 3 times the number of units. This is a 3-unit course, so you need 9 hours to do well in the course. So that's the general idea. Other URLs are here, but stuff like disabilities, key dates, and deadlines, so on and so forth. All right, so that's the synopsis, and there is more information here if you need it. Summary steps to success. You want to carefully study the lecture PowerPoints. If you want to create a formula sheet, you can't use it for the exam, but it's helpful to have it to study from it before the exam. Do the examples, do the homework, do the quizzes, and you'll be more than ready to nail the exam. As far as office hours are concerned, again, you can find it under the homepage of a Canvas as well as here. And as I mentioned, Monday through Friday, 7 to 8 a.m., right before class. And more information as far as the course is concerned. So that is the syllabus, everybody. I'm going to go back to the homepage. Okay. And the next one is the modules. Under the modules, you can find just about everything. So let's see what we find under the modules. The first one, okay, right here, this is my open math. And I'm going to come back to this at the end, where you can do your homework assignments and you find everything that you need. The next one is the recorded lectures exam reviews. I'm going to show you that one as well in a moment. So we're going to come back to this two momentarily. Exam one module shows you the coverage from 1.6 to 3.1. First, we have the exam one review, then the PowerPoints, then the PowerPoint solution. And I'll show you what I have it in this order in a moment. But what I want to mention, exam two repeats the same thing. Module two has the exam review, PowerPoints, and the solution, PowerPoint for the exam review. Same thing for the third one, fourth one, and it follows the same way. Okay. So there are four modules, and then the fifth one is part of the final exam. Okay. Review and so forth. The very last one is just information about graphing calculator in case. For example, if I click on that, it brings up TI calculator. Now I put some resources here. I want you to pay attention to this, that it is possible that you can download an emulator on your computer. If it works, and not always it works, it will look like this. Okay, everyone? So you may be able to get this. And there's information here as far as what to do. I'll be very honest with you. I've done that on some laptops, on some desktops, and in some occasions I had a hard time. It never worked. So just so you know uh, what is expected, it may not. But there are other online calculator resources. I put it in the syllabus and here. And then there are TI calculator commands if anybody is interested. Okay. So this very last module, everybody, this one is a part of resources that you need. All right. Let's go back up so we know what they are. So I'm going to show you what's, again, I mentioned exam 1, 2, 3. So what do we find here? Exam review. What it does, it gives you the synopsis of what you're going to learn in the first module in the first exam, if you will. And as you can see, we have the key, by the way. So on a daily basis, if you do one or two questions, by the time we get to the week of final, you're done with that. And of course, we will have this discussed to a certain degree. So I expect you to do one or two per question per day, not too much. It's very straightforward. Then, if you look at the next one, it gives you the PowerPoint. So the PowerPoints that I'm going to go over as of next session, everything you can find here, okay? And you can put it in slide mode to see certain things. You don't have to write any definitions, any questions. Just follow along. When we get to the examples, then you don't see the solution. We will go over it in class step by step. So first I'm going to go over the lecture. You don't have to do any writings. When we get to the examples, you don't have to write the questions, but you do have to write the step-by-step solutions. So I hope it's clear to everybody. So going back to the modules, we are still dealing with exam one module. And the third tab is detailed solution for the exam review. Most of those exam review questions are here. So again, I want to make sure we understand what's happening here. So I'm going to go back to this module. Under each module, for example, exam 1, what do you find? You find the exam review, you find the PowerPoints, and you find the solution to the exam review. So you find the exam review, okay? You find the PowerPoints, for example, the very first section, and you find the solution to the exam review. So everything is here. And again, bear in mind, when we go over the lecture, you don't have to write anything that involves definitions, formulas, or examples. You do have to write detailed and step-by-step solutions. So under the modules, we know what we find. Now I want to go back to the top and show you these two pieces. These recorded lectures, okay, these are from before, and the new ones will become available and put them here. For example, if you click on this, you will have every lecture. So if you want to go ahead and you just want to watch those, you can do that. Every lecture has been done with details. You can find them here, okay? And we are going to put the new ones that is coming up as we do it per day. So under the modules, right here, you find lectures with details. That's my YouTube channel. What is this one? This is where you find your digital homework. So if I click on it, now you have to register everybody. How do you register? You put a username and password. What is your username and password? You make up one. Perhaps the easiest and fastest would be the same thing that you use for CSUMB, for your email address, whatever that is easier for you to remember. So you register, enter a username, choose a password, so on and so forth. You're a student, and it will register you with My Open Math. Okay, it will register you with My Open Math. And so let me just remove this from the student view. And so it will let you go to your digital platform. So let me show you what we find. So it takes you here. Okay, Math 119. When we go there, what do we find there? So let's quickly cover that. At the very top, the mandatory assignment to My Open Math, which I expect you to register today and start doing it. Then we have the algebra review. Then this one is where you find, right under this tab, you can find the quizzes and exams. For example, we're going to have quiz 1, 2, and 3, about one quiz per week, and then exam 1. Never mind the rest of it. By the time you get to exam 1, you know exactly what to do. So under exams and quiz, you can find the exam. Then there's a course description, which is the same thing we've discussed already. Then here's the calendar, and I want to discuss the calendar. By the way, the number of weeks here, you can change it, okay? As you can see, the first assignment, introductory assignment to Open Math is due immediately. Then we have the algebra review. The purpose of the algebra review is to make sure that you know what is your prior knowledge of mathematics and if you need to enhance that. Then quiz 1, 2, 3, and then homework. Notice all the homework are due right before exam 1. Should I wait until then to do my homework? Absolutely not. When I finish a section, please do the homework. Otherwise, you'll be behind. The reason I've put them here, because in the past there have been cases that the students didn't get a chance to finish them, and they asked me to reopen the homework, and I figured, let's just keep it all due right before the exam. Then what do we find underneath? First, let me, because I want to expand them in a moment. Okay, so first you see module 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 modules are just like the modules that we saw in Canvas, except they have the homework. But what is module 0? And I will show you. Module 0, as the name mentions, resources. So what do we find there? The book is there. For example, if I click on that, it brings it up. Okay. And you can download a PDF file or you view it online. I would view it online. Okay. And you can go to a specific chapter or section and you name it. Then how to use the LatePass, Gradebook. It's explained here. Pass to an attempted, that's your grade. Free online calculators, I showed you in syllabus and more here. And we have a video explaining how to use one of them, Desmos, for example. And so module 0 is resources. At the end of that module 0, you see chapter review or pre-calculus review. Please understand, this is a review. It's not being graded. It's there for you in case you have questions. Review of functions, basic class of functions, trigonometric functions, inverse functions, factoring. So if you happen to have any area of math that you want to review, basically I put them here. So module 0 has all of the above, and it's just resources. If you don't need it, you don't need it. The class starts with module 1. Of course, you know, these first 2 assignments will just to get us started. But under module 1, okay, again, let me just do this. So module 1, we start with 1.6 and then chapter 2 and so forth. So 1.6, if you click on it, what do you find? So you find the text where the information is in case you want to read. There are some videos pertaining to that section. And then the homework starts. Basically, the reason I want you to go through it this way instead of going through the calendar, if you, by the way, speaking of the calendar, if you click on those, it brings them up here, okay? If you just click on the homework or quizzes or any of it, okay, it shows here. Now, the reason I want you to do it this way is because in case you want to watch those videos, they don't take long. So if you click on 1.6, okay, what happens is that when you want to do a question, notice the video here. There is a video help available. Is it available for all of them? No, but it's available for most of them. For example, question number 3 doesn't have it. Okay, that's why it's a good idea to do the homework that way. Now, how do you do your homework? I'm going to start, for example, looking at this one. Remember, these 2 must be done immediately. So if you go to this teacher preview, so basically you want to enter the answers here. For example, here when you click on it, the math palette opens. 94 point, what is it, 3654, 365. Yeah, I want to make sure I can read that. Okay. Over here, we are going to round it to the nearest hundreds. That means 2 decimals. 94.3. Now 6. Next to it is 5, goes up to 7. Can we divide by 0? No. It says D and E does not exist, but it's undefined. So if you, after you answer, if you click on submit question, see the check mark. The check mark tells us, okay, we did it right. Do I need to get a similar question? No, I got 100%. But let's say over here 1/3, and it says enter, carefully read it. Enter 4 or more decimals. So it's 0.3 bar. So I'm going to put just one decimal and I submit. Obviously, it's wrong. Because it's wrong, I'm going to get a similar question. In fact, it gives me the same one. Now I'm going to say point, and I'm going to put many, many decimals, and I submit. Notice I got 4 credit. It's that simple. I continue, finish the job. Let's say I don't have time. So if I don't have time, I'm going to click done. The moment I click done, it shows the first 2 questions are correct. It registers my grade. And as long as I come back to finish the job, the grade gets updated. How do I come back? Just click on resume. Or if something comes up, I can exit and come back later. And that's it. So let me recap everything quickly. So here's the homepage of Canvas. Welcoming message, class philosophy, announcements. I can't emphasize this enough. Anything you miss under the announcements, you can find. Homepage of a Canvas. Zoom meeting here, the Zoom meeting on the left navigation bar, everybody, is where you attend the class. At the bottom of the page is the office hours. Syllabus we went over, and everything can be found under the modules. So if you click on the modules, first we have my open math, then we have the recorded lectures. You are concerned with the exam 1 module only for now. When you finish that, you master it and you get comfortable with the rest of it. Every homework is done in my open math. And the very first assignment is introduction to my open math, so you know how to work with it. An algebra review, so you know where you stand as far as your prior knowledge of mathematics is concerned. Okay. All right. I wish you all best of luck and happy study.